Has something to do. All right, I'm gonna open with we are here with Richard Adee and his daughter Marla and board member Jan Johnson, and I'm probably gonna ask the two of you if you can kind of scooch in a little bit closer to Richard, just because. Perfect. So our discussion today is in regards to the Adee honey farm, the family, and the connection with the state, and in particular to youth that may be interested in what this is about, as well as what they want to consider with that interest. So with that, I'm going to start out with the first question. And Richard, because you do your homework so well, I'm going to ask you to lead off with, from your perspective, what are the top 3 things if a person was interested in this?
Well, if you're going into beekeeping, the very first thing you need to do is take a course in beekeeping. You need to learn the biology of the bee. Otherwise, it's just going to be a wasted effort. You need to be aware of the challenges that you'll be facing in keeping the bees healthy. There's the American foul brood, which is the oldest, and there's chalk brood. There's lots of pathogens out there.
So you mean diseases that bees...
Diseases, yeah.
Okay.
Varroa mites that came in 30 years ago. That's a little mite that gets on the bee and gets into the brood. And basically, if it's not treated, it'll destroy the hive. And then we got the trachea mites and the small hive beetles. The small hive beetles that came in just, about 8-10 years ago. And they get in the hive, and if you don't treat for them, they'll also destroy the hive.
So where do you pick up being the medical doctor of bees? Where is that? How do you get to that?
There's a lot of information out there on the honeybee.
Okay.
And there's lots of journals out there that carry a lot of this information. The honeybee is one of the most looked at insects, research insects.
Oh.
And so there's a lot of information on the honeybee, but you want to be aware of that information. You need to know the biology, what you're up against. Otherwise, you'll just be wasting your money.
So where does one go for the beekeeping course?
Oh, they used to have it down at the university, but I'd say get on the internet, and they have them around the country places, right? Mm-hmm. And the university, SCSU used to have and offer it, and even had a bee yard down there on campus. But when Dr. Walsham passed away, they kind of wound that down. He was the entomology professor and head of the entomology department.
So, can I ask a question of Marla? Your observation, I mean, I know there are, can you just say a little bit about the family members that are involved, yourself included?
Sure. We're in the business, and I have my 2 older brothers with us, and so it would be Brett and Calvin. And Brett kind of manages our West Coast operations.
That's right.
And he handles a lot of the pollination things that we do out there. Calvin kind of handles the bee breeding operation in the south. And usually we all reconnect in the summer here at some point in time.
Yeah.
So other than that, we're spread out across country.
Do you think that's, is that the life of beekeeping for a family?
Pretty much. Beekeeping, to go on a commercial basis, you have to travel. You're not going to stay in one place. You'll have to move with the bees and chase the flowers.
There's a good byline. Move with the bees and chase the flowers.
Yeah, they're migratory. It's called migratory beekeeping. You can go from where the flowers are in the summertime to where they're supposed to be in the spring, and a little warmer weather. They go from here. Basically, now we go from South Dakota to California. Most of them all go to California for the almond pollination. And then from the almond pollination, some of them come back to our bee breeding operations in Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, and they keep some there in Bakersfield, California for bee breeding. Some go up to Washington State for apple pollination, and then they all come back home, what we call home, Midwest, in the Midwest.
Yeah, yeah. So biology, did you have the health of the bees?
Oh, and then they should be aware of the pesticides out there that are being
Okay.
used. You know, they need to know the detrimental ones, and because you'll get a call from a farmer, he'll say, can I use this, will this be impact the bees? So you need to know what's being
Okay.
used, whether it's detrimental, or whether it's kind of neutral, or whether it's beneficial. You know, there are some out there, but you need to be aware of what the farmers are using out there. Most of the farmers are very good about, they don't want to hurt the bees. They realize the pollination
Okay.
benefits of the bees, but they are not aware of what some of these pesticides might do to it.
Okay.
And we got this, you've heard about common class disorders, CCD, which is wiped out about half the bees every year in the United States now.
Yeah.
And that's basically been linked to a neonicotinoid pesticide. That means a systemic pesticide.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
seeds
goes through
that
the
are treated
whole
with
thing.
this, and it grows up.
Yeah.
And you know, when it first came out, I thought, oh man, that's going to be good. We'll have the airplanes flying, spraying. Never realizing that this insecticide carried up through the plant, and the bees brought it home, the pollen and the nectar. And then it impacted the hive itself, and broke down their immune system, broke down their navigational ability. That's why they call it colony collapse, because they fly out and never come back. The colony just goes going down because they can't find their way home.
And the third, Jen?
Well, it almost sounds like the pesticide gives them dementia. It's almost like bee dementia.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
like
it is. It is very much so.
Wow.
Yeah. No, until they came out, and before that's the main problem. Before we had the varroa mites and the pesticide problem and the small hive. When I first started this business, it was pretty much a piece of cake. Got a nice hive, bees. You came up here, put it down, made honey. And that's all there was to it. Now, man, we got all these challenges that we have to address. And somebody says, "Who's doing this?" And I said, "Anybody that's keeping bees is taking care of varroa, taking care of small hive beetle, taking care of their pathogens."
Yeah.
So it's a different ball game than it was. That's why I say now, a guy could get a hive of bees if he wanted to, a backyard beekeeper, get a hive of bees and keep it, and not worry much about it, put some boxes on, get some honey. But now, if he doesn't know how to keep that hive alive, he's just wasting money out there, because it's going to be dead in the fall.
Okay.
And it might not make him any honey either, so he just spent a couple $100 on those bees and all for naught.
That's a good point.
You need a chemical degree nowadays as well, as he was saying, when you have to understand how the chemicals interact with the biology of the bee, and that's been something that's been fairly new. We have to learn a great deal with that.
So all of your beekeepers, do you do in-service? I'm assuming that they have to know these things as well.
Who's that?
Your beekeepers, all the people who work for you.
They
all need to know the same.
We train them all. They have to know what we're doing and why we're doing it, because and now we got really good people working for us, and they're really knowledgeable and very they do the very best they can. Of course, there's some things none of us can overcome, but they do the best they can with the knowledge we have on it.
Did we miss anything for this question?
Well, let's see. You want to know 3?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let me see. Another thing we need to know is they want to make sure there's enough what we call bee pasture. That means there's enough alfalfa, clover, maybe sage or
bee food.
Bee food. Plant flowers out there that the bees can get nectar from and take home for honey.
Okay.
Like the clovers, the alfalfas.
Yeah.
Up here, when I first came, that was a gold mine, the sweet clover. That's what drew me up here, was all that nice sweet clover. This whole valley, you remember, used to be yellow, and they used to plant it for seed. And
I remember
you remember that? Yeah, that's why we're out there. You're playing. Yeah, we had all that. And
all that clover, and
at that time, 120-pound crop of honey per hive was kind of normal. Now, if we get 80, we've got a bumper.
Oh.
Back down to about 60, about half of that.
Okay.
And so, but bee pasture, the big thing, just like now out West River, the whole bee pasture, all the flowers have dried up. It's just nothing but brown out there. So we're moving quite a few of the bees back here to the eastern side of the state.
Yeah. I'm gonna